For over 3,000 years, ancient Egypt stood as one of the most powerful civilizations on Earth. They built wonders that still leave us in awe today, mastered engineering techniques far ahead of their time, and developed one of the world's earliest writing systems. But what if their empire never fell? To understand this alternate reality, we first need to look at what made ancient Egypt so powerful. These weren't just pyramid builders. They were pioneers in medicine, engineering, and astronomy. Thousands of years before modern medicine, Egyptian doctors were performing surgeries, setting broken bones, and even developing treatments for infections. Their knowledge of the stars helped them create detailed maps of the night sky, and their irrigation systems turned the desert into farmland, allowing their civilization to thrive. Their influence was unmatched, but like all great empires, they eventually fell. Egypt was invaded multiple times by the Persians, the Greeks, and finally the Romans. Over time, their culture was absorbed into foreign rule and their technological advancements slowed. But what if that never happened? In this alternate reality, Egypt never loses its power. It continues expanding its knowledge, advancing its science, and integrating new discoveries from other civilizations. By the Middle Ages, while Europe is struggling through feudal wars and plagues, Egypt could be leading the world in technological progress. Instead of the Renaissance happening in Europe, it could have happened in Cairo, with Egyptian scholars making breakthroughs in physics, chemistry, and medicine centuries before anyone else. Imagine a modern-day Egyptian empire. The capital, instead of Washington, D.C. or Beijing, could be Cairo, the most powerful city on Earth. The pyramids wouldn't just be relics of the past, they might have evolved into advanced research facilities or power stations harnessing solar energy on a scale we can't even imagine. The Nile, instead of just being a river, could have become the world's most sophisticated irrigation and hydroelectric system, supplying food and power to an empire that stretches across multiple continents. But it's not just technology that would be different. The world's entire culture and belief systems might have changed. If Egypt had remained in power, the dominant religion today might not be Christianity or Islam, but the worship of gods like Ra, Osiris, and Anubis. Instead of churches or mosques, massive temples might be the centers of worship and education. Hieroglyphics could have evolved into the world's primary writing system, replacing the Latin alphabet. Even our modern calendar and timekeeping systems might be completely different, shaped by Egyptian lunar cycles instead of Roman and Gregorian influences. And what about science? What about industry? The Industrial Revolution, which took place in the 18th and 19th centuries, might have happened 1,000 years earlier. Instead of steam engines shaping the modern world, perhaps ancient Egyptian knowledge of solar energy would have led to an era where renewable power was mastered far before fossil fuels were ever needed. Medicine could be far beyond what we have today. Imagine if diseases like cancer had been cured centuries ago. If Egypt had continued to grow without interruption, it could be the world's ultimate superpower today. Cairo, instead of being a historic city, might be the capital of the world's economy, entertainment, and politics. English might not be the global language, instead we might all be speaking a modernized version of ancient Egyptian. Instead of Hollywood being the center of global entertainment, the film industry could have developed in Egypt, producing epic stories based on pharaohs, gods, and ancient mythology. But could this have really happened? Was Egypt destined to rule the world forever, or was its decline inevitable? History is unpredictable. Even the greatest civilizations rise and fall. Egypt, like Rome, like Greece, had its time in the sun before giving way to new empires. But what we do know is that Egypt's influence never truly disappeared. From architecture to medicine, from how we measure time to how we build cities, traces of ancient Egypt are everywhere in our modern world. And if things had gone just a little differently, we might all be living in the world of the Pharaohs. What do you think? Would a world ruled by ancient Egypt be a utopia or something else entirely? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more what-if scenarios.